It is Monday night, and you know what that means. It is round number 6, the final round of SNL Formula X season number 8. It all comes down to this evening's race. We have got a 4-way title battle in the drivers' standings. We've got a 2-way battle in the team championship as well. And this is at Fuji. Not a favourite of many of the drivers, and we've had a new era with GT7 changing everything. The physics, the tyre wear, everything before this race happened. So a few little changes, tweaks made to try and make the racing the same as it was before. We will see if that has been successful. But this is Formula X. If you've not watched Formula X before, go back and look at our other races, 5 races before this one. Round number 6, as I say, championship decider. Very tight, very tense. Let's have a look at the grid for this final round. It's a 1-lap qualifying shootout where drivers have different tyres depending on what they've got for the rest of the season. So let's have a look at the grid. Thank you everybody that's watching here at Fuji. So we turn and we look and we go down. You may have seen a car on pole position, and in pole position, the first of the season, it is SNL Jam in his Williams, currently in 8th place in the championship with 58 points. He had soft tyres in qualifying and has softs all the way through for the race. Joining him on the front row, the first time he has been on the front row, it is the Punisher. He has softs and mediums for his race, and he's currently 13th in the championship with 23 points. He is joined at the front of the field by his McLaren teammate. It is Speckmere in 3rd place. He's currently 9th in the championship with 56 points, and he has softs and hards for this race. In 4th place, this is our first championship contender. It is Gasman in the Ferrari. He is currently 3rd in the championship with 91 points. He's 10 points behind the championship leader, Matt Psycho. He has 91 points, and he has soft, mediums, and mediums for this race. He also qualified on mediums, so top medium runner in qualifying. In 5th place is Slender Fella. Podium last time out at Spa. He is 6th in the championship with 62 points for Team Lotus. He has got mediums, hards, and hards for the race, so he will be doing a rain dance, I am sure. In 6th place, another championship contender. It is the defending champion, Bunnies, in the Mercedes. He had hard tyres in qualifying, top hard runner, in fact. Softs and mediums for him in the race. He has 93 points. He's 8 points behind the championship leader, Matt Psycho. In 7th place is his teammate, Regimus Prime. Also in the Mercedes, we'll move back slightly because of the glare. He has soft, hards. Oh, again, another rain dance possibly. Mercedes are currently 18 points behind Renault in the team championship, and both Mercedes are ahead of the Renaults on the grid. In 8th place, making his return after last week, is Jokas in the Ferrari. He is 15th in the championship with 9 points right now. Regimus Prime, was in 7th with 59 points. In 9th place is Bondimus Prime. He's 11th in the championship with 29 points. And he is driving on soft mediums. Jokas is on softs all the way through. Here is our 3rd championship contender. It's Ajax. In 4th place right now, 81 points, 20 points behind the championship leader. It's an outside bet for him for this round in the Tyrrell. And he is on soft, mediums, and hards for this race. And here is the championship leader, just outside the top 10, in 11th place in his Renault, Matt Psycho. 101 points for him right now. He is 8 points ahead of Bunnies, 10 points ahead of Gasman, and 20 points ahead of Ajax. He has got mediums, hards, and hards for the race. Again, another driver hoping for some rain, it would seem. In 12th place is the man currently in 12th in the championship. It's Rob on drums in his Red Bull. He has 27 points. And he will be running on soft, mediums, and mediums. In 13th place, it's Aloe, the second Renault on the grid. He is 5th in the championship. A great season so far for Aloe. 67 points for him, and he has soft, mediums, and mediums in his Renault. In 14th place is Kaiser Grim in his Tyrrell. He has got soft, mediums. He is currently in 14th place with 17 points, and he's 14th on the grid. And finally, the return of the American Pool Shark in the American livery Red Bull. He's currently 17th in the championship with 4 points, having made his first race at Spa last time out. He is on soft mediums for this race as well. There is no Craig OB. Unfortunately, due to the way this season's been, he hasn't made it. But we'll have a look at the rest of the grid, and I'll talk through the team championship. So in first place at the moment is Renault with 170 points. In second place is Mercedes with 152. 18 points, the gap between those two teams. Tyrrell have 108. They've got a 2-point lead over Red Bull, who have 106. In fifth place, it is Williams with 101. They are 1 point ahead of Ferrari with 100. Lotus have 95. And then McLaren are in 8th place with 79 points. It's incredibly tight all throughout this championship. We have got 39 laps of Fuji coming up ahead. It is dry right now. Will it rain for the final round? We've not had any rain really this season. We'll find out, though, very shortly. So we will go to the camera. Pole position is Jam, second Punisher, Speckmere third, Gasman fourth, Slenderfella fifth, Bunnies sixth, Ragimus in seventh, and Yokas is eighth. Let's see what we get going. 1, 2, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and it is go at Fuji, and Jam gets a good start immediately on the overtake, and Speckmere straight into second already ahead of his teammate Punisher. So Speckmere having a move. Let's go Gasman. Can he get up into second? He had a look trying to get past the McLarens. He puts himself up into third. A little bit of a slide. A bit of action happening in the middle of the pack. We've got all the black cars side by side. Bunny's falling down a little bit. Ragemus and Bondimus having a bit of a touch into the Coca-Cola curve, but they all get through pretty cleanly. Matt Psycho having to go on the inside of the 100R corner, as we see in the background Slenderfella just having a little bit of a moment, going down to 15th place as they go to the hairpin. But it's Jam in the lead of the field. He has got Speckmere in second, pushing hard on board then with the McLaren through the chicane. A very tricky chicane, as we then go into the final sector. One of those sectors, different lines can be used. Oh, Bunny's getting up ahead of his teammate, in fact, showing different lines can be used. He's on hard tyres, Bunny's on the hards. He was not due to... Brajamus has used all his overtake. Oh my word. Well, that is an interesting tactic. Brajamus has used all overtake on the opening lap. That is interesting. Have they both got the wrong tyres on? They have. Both the Mercedes drivers have the wrong tyres on. They've come into the pits because of that. Well, a disaster then for Mercedes in the team championship. They're both in the pits to serve a change of tyres, so they don't get a penalty for using the wrong tyres. That's an absolute disaster for the Mercedes, and an absolute disaster for Bunnies, because he is now in 14th place. They haven't put fuel in, have they? They've put a little bit of fuel. They've refilled by a lap. But both of the Mercedes, 14th and 15th, as Jam leads in the background. We can see Bondimus and the Punisher having a great fight going into the chicane. Bondimus having to shield the position in the background, though. Looked like Matt Psycho got a position, did he? Or was it Ajax? And yes, it was Ajax getting up into 8th place, passing Yokas on the inside. A nicely done move, in fact, from the drivers keeping it clean. Matt Psycho having a bit of a slide. He's on the hard tyres right now, so he will be slow. Aloe up from 13th to 6th on the opening couple of laps. He's definitely pushing well. Bodemus is putting all the pressure on the Punisher, though, at the front of the field. In 4th place, Punisher feeling a little bit of pressure as Jam puts the fastest lap of the race at 24.2, as we see Bodemus going up the inside of the Punisher before they get to turn 1. He's used half his overtake already. The Punisher, though, has a very sneaky move and does him on the exit. Let's watch that again from the onboard from Punisher. So we have Bodemus behind us. Punisher on the medium tyres right now, so he is not going to have the pace, but he just keeps going, and nicely done. Brakes later, and up ahead we can see Speckmere and Gasman having a battle for second. Gasman getting Speckmere on the exit of turn number 1. Oh, Speckmere running wide onto the curb, and that means that Gasman gets to go in front. He uses a bit of overtake as well to make sure of it, and puts himself into second. Medium tyres for him as well right now, but Jam leading in the Williams. We've not seen this all season. And Rageabus at the back. Let's have a look at the other championship contenders. So Aloe 6th, Matt Psycho is in 7th. He is holding Ajax, who has got the hards, but he's got the pressures of Yokas, who's got soft tyres and a bit of overtake. Looking all over the place is Yokas, trying to have a go into the chicane. It's very difficult to pull off a move there. Nothing happening though for Yokas right now. Kaiser right behind in the Tyrrell, so it is a Ferrari sandwich with Tyrrell bread. It's Kaiser keeping the pressure on the pole as he goes up the inside. Nicely done by Kaiser. The different lines being shown by those two drivers. Yokas then dropping behind. He's on the overtake though, so he'll be having a go. Is he bump drafting? Let's go on board. He is bump drafting. It would seem Kaiser getting a good run actually on his teammate possibly, as we see the 3 cars going across the line right now. So Ajax could be in trouble here from the inside. Kaiser goes up ahead of him. Yokas might go past. No! So a Tyrrell switcheroo. Kaiser goes up into 8th place. Let's go to the front of the field then. Jam right now leads the pack. He has got about 3-second lead already on lap number 4, and he's setting purples. But Bunnies, interestingly, has set the fastest lap of the race, a 23.8 for the Canadian. So Jam 24.1 for him on the last lap. Gasman a 24.6 on the medium tyres though. That is very impressive. Thank you everyone that's watching. Remember to like, share and subscribe to the SNL YouTube channel. This is our last race of the season in Formula X, but we will be back in September for GTE. It is returning our Group 3 championship with a lot of exciting developments happening as well with the game. I'm sure it will be an exciting one. Speckmere currently in 3rd with the Punisher 4th. McLaren looking very strong at this point in time in the race. 3rd and 4th for these two. It shows you the caliber of SNL though. 2 quality drivers, Speckmere and the Punisher. The Punisher really having a season of development after building from last season's championship win with McLaren with Bunnies. He has led this team really well with Speckmere as well. Speckmere possibly will say he was the leader as he's higher in the championship standings, but they are working very well together. Aloe though is putting the pressure on the Canadian in front of him. Aloe, who has had a standout season himself, must have heard me saying it on the commentary because he's going for the move into the chicane. The camera angle not very good, didn't get it done though. The Punisher holding on. Still, we go on board with Aloe. We can see Bodemus in our mirror, keeping the pressure on as we go off board again. The different lines being taken in this stadium type section at the end of the circuit. Lowy keeping the pressure on the Punisher as Bondimus runs a little bit wide on the exit. As Lowy now having a go. Overtake being used, puts himself up into 4th place, but that means the Punisher will have a possible chance going into turn number 1 here at Fuji. You can go back in the slipstream, use your rival as an opportunity as the Punisher's on the inside still. Great racing between these two. Lowy though stays in 4th. Speckmere is in 3rd, trying to pull away from the fighting drivers behind him. Oh, the Punisher! I think the Punisher ran wide. Going into the Coca-Cola curve, turn number 3. Let's have a look. The Punisher on board with him, tucked up behind Lowy. Oh, just a bit of that downforce on that front wing, just wearing away. But at the front of the field, currently fastest lap, 23.6 from Jam. Right now in the Williams, looking pretty strong. It would seem 24.3 though from Gasman on those medium tyres. The gap between them about 5 seconds. Speckmere in 3rd place. He's got the pressure of Lowy now, chasing him down. Lowy, a lot more fuel burnt by Lowy compared to his rivals. The Punisher then has Bondimus all over his back. Bondimus with the red lights above his helmet on the roll hoop. That shows that he's got 25% or less of his overtake remaining. A green one in front of him for the Punisher saying he has 25% or more. And Bondimus, as if to prove the point, is on the overtake down the home straight on lap number 7 now, and he's barely got any overtake left. Interesting tactic from the Lotus driver. Ahead we can see Lowy putting the pressure on Speckmere and does the move. Nicely done by Lowy. Well done again. So up from 13th on the grid to 3rd on lap number 7. Lowy is making a big difference right now. Let's have a look at the championship rivals. So Matt Psycho currently in 7th place in his Renault. Hard tyres right now. Hard medium are his tyres for this evening. Bunnies is up into 11th place now after setting some very fast times. He's now on the medium tyres. He's got soft mediums for the race. He started on hards by a mistake from the game, possibly spotted the error and pitted early on lap number 1. It was the same for Ragemus, who burnt out all his overtake on the opening lap. You can see no lights above his head to say that he has none left. Slenderfella, bad lap of 36.6 for the Team Lotus driver, currently in 15th place. So not having the best of times. Jam crossing the line again. So 24.0. Now this is the thing with these tyres. Now you can see the wear is not that terrible compared to what we're used to in Formula X. However, they do start losing grip about now. They start feeling very bad on the softs. And we can see Jam is lapping still in the 24s previously. Maybe starting to feel a little bit of that grip disappearing. As he runs a little bit wide out of the downhill at turn number 6. Gasman chasing him now, 24.3 for him on the medium. So the medium tyres right now do look a lot stronger in the game as a whole. They do look like the tyre for racing. But we will see how things change for GTE. We'll have a fiddle with the settings to make sure everything is great for the action. Let's see what is happening in terms of the action with the Punisher, Speckmere and Bondimus. They are still all together as they go through the twisting sections at the end of the lap. A nice Japanese helmet as well from the Punisher. I've seen this possibly before from him. Very nice though. The rising sun here as the sun sets on our Formula X season, the final race of the season, and right now it's all looking great for Gatsman. Currently second, that's 25 points And Matt Psycho would be on 12. So Gasman, as it stands, would take the championship, with Matt Psycho down in 7th. So Gasman looking very strong in the Ferrari in terms of the championship. 24.6 for him on the last lap, a 24.0 though for Jam once more. So he is keeping those 24s pumping in that Williams. In terms of the overtake, about the same, actually, from both of them. So Jam in first, Gasman second, Aloe in third, Spekmir fourth, with this battle of the Punisher and Bondimus in sixth, keeping the pressure on those two McLarens on board with the Lotus. See the Bondimus Prime on top. Transformers logo can be seen. So it goes through the final corner, the Panasonic corner, keeping the pressure on those in front. Matt Psycho though, 7th place, 25.4 for him in the hard tyres, so he's 1.4 seconds off the pace at the front. Pretty good though for the hards. And looking very consistent too, another 25.5. Kaiser behind him, it's a 25.7 on the softs. So the softs starting to wear down for those running them. As we can see, Bunnies on the inside of Yokas going into turn number 1. Can he make the move? Yes, he does. Does Ajax follow him? No. So Bunnies has managed to get himself up into 9th place. He's fighting back in this championship fight. Remember, he pitted on the end of the first lap because of the wrong tyre. So Bunny's leading the field of Yokas and Ajax. 9th place is Rob on drums on the mediums. Right now, Ragemus is in 13th. Bull Shark in 14th, and he's got a fight on with Slenderfella, just set his fastest lap, 25.9. That's comparable to Matt Psycho's times. So that shows you Slenderfella is capable of setting good times on those hard tyres. It's just they're very hard to work with, possibly, on these early stages. The way the tyres warm up as well has changed. Jam now doing 24.6s with his car. 24.0 for Gasman, so 6/10 of a second now for Gasman, closing up the gap. At the front, Aloe, bit of a gap really between these drivers, so it's 7 seconds between Gasman and Aloe, and it's about 5 seconds between Jam and Gasman, so it's stabilised about 5 seconds between the top two in the race. Spekmir, he's about 5 seconds behind Aloe. And pushing away from the Punisher is McLaren's 4th and 5th. Mount Fuji in the background, standing magnificently here. Thank you everyone that is watching live. Who do you have for this championship? Who are you cheering? Are you cheering on the championship leader, Matt Psycho? 101 points going into the race. He was 8 points ahead of the man in 9th, Bunnies. So Bunnies catching up with Matt Psycho now. 23.7 for Bunnies. Very fast, as we see Yokas has managed to get overtaken, I think, by Ajax. Yes, so Ajax on the exit of the chicane. Oh, no, it's through turn number 13. But Ajax goes up the inside of the pole, puts himself into the top 10. Ajax also in the championship fight, but 10th place right now, not what he will be aiming for. As Yokas goes off in the background, his left front tyre is completely worn. There is the problem with the tyres now, as Rob on drums comes to attack a limping Ferrari. Rob on drums on the overtake, side by side they go past the straight. And the start-finish into lap number 12. Rob on drums in 11th. Yokas trying to go up the inside though. Can he get it done? No, he can't. Ragemus is there, and he gets the Ferrari on the exit of turn 1. So nice move there by Ragemus. As into the pits comes Poolshark. His tyres not happy anymore. 11 laps for him. Jam is currently in first. He's got a pin next to his lap for the previous lap for some reason. Don't know why that is. So Jam currently in the lead. Let's go on board with the Williams driver. Let's see if we can see the tyres. Not the best time to look on board though. It's straight. They're not showing anywhere. But Jam now in the 25s. As Gazman is in the 24-1. So the crossover between the tyres has happened. So Gazman now in second place. Pushing hard. The gap between the two is about 4 seconds. Jam though pushing as much as he can. Let's see if we can go on board to see the wear on that right hand side tyre. Yes, you can see it now on the left as well. It's catching up with Poolshark up ahead. So Jam is in first. Poolshark is at the back as Ajax comes into the pits, as does Kaiser Grim. So Kaiser Grim on his softs is in on lap number 12. And Ajax is in as well. Yokas comes in too. As we got Jam and Poolshark. Oh, Jam running wide. On the grass goes the Williams driver. As Poolshark runs off wide. Maybe Jam caught out. He's got dirt on the tyres, and that means Gazman has an opportunity. All of a sudden, that 4 seconds has just vanished, and Gazman dives up the inside of the Panasonic corner. Jam on the exit is racing alongside, but Jam is going into the pits. So Jam with his tyres not happy anymore, losing 4 seconds on that lap. Gazman comes into the lead of the race then, the Ferrari driver leading. Once more, he's got a quarter of a tank of fuel left as well. Those medium tyres look pretty good. Aloe still going, 24.9 for him, 23.9 on lap number 12. Good lap for Aloe. The Punisher keeping going as well. The medium tyres working for the Canadian. Speckmere is in fourth. We've got Bondimus in the pits too. So Bondimus is there. Jam comes out of the pits on his soft tyres once more. Bondimus in his Lotus, running as high as 6th early on. What can he do? He will go on to a choice of softs and mediums. So a good tyre strategy right now for Bondimus. Matt Psycho though finds himself in 5th place, but he's got Bunnies right behind him. Bunnies on the mediums, Matt Psycho is on the hards. So on board with the current champion and the man second in the championship, Bunnies, as they go towards Dunlop Corner, the chicane. Very awkward for these cars and these drivers, especially if you are in hard tyre mode. Apologies if you lost a bit of signal there. We've got hot PlayStation, because that's what it's doing right now on the hottest day of the year, it feels, in the UK right now. Bunny's on board with the Mercedes driver. Can he make a move into turn 1? That's what he'll be thinking about as Matt Psycho tries to defend it going on the inside. Will he do anything about it? Bunny's on the outside going into turn 1. It says he's ahead, but Matt Psycho will brake the latest he can, but Bunny's has the grip on the medium tyres and puts himself up into 5th. It's not enough for him in the championship though. He's 8 points behind Matt Psycho going into it. He's currently closed that gap to 6. But as it stands, Gazman stealing it, possibly, in this final race of the season. Scott in the Ferrari. It has been one for the ages in Formula X. 8 seasons with the Scuderia as team principal and then as a driver for the past couple of seasons. He is trying to get a win once more. He did it at Suzuka last season. He's looking to do it once more again in Japan for the Scuderia. Aloe chasing him down though, currently in second place. His tyres starting to wear, but he keeps going. Having a good run on them. It's in the 25s now, but keeping the tyres working. A great run, 16 laps. He will run definitely on them. The Punisher, he is in third. Scott Speckmere still behind him. Speckmere, though, has got the attentions of Bunnies. Bunnies, all of a sudden, one of the fastest drivers on the circuit right now. Bunny's up into 4th place now. So his strategy, although damaged by that early stop for the hards, when he started on the hards, should I say, he's now in 4th. So Speckmere in 5th, Matt Psycho 6th, Jam in 7th after his stop in the 24s again. After his stop, Rob on drums is in 8th. Still on the mediums, no stop for him. Regimus as well, soft, still going very strong on those. A couple of slower laps, but then a 24.7 for him. Showing that the lap time is there. 25.2 for Slenderfella. So the hard tyres looking pretty good on low fuel. Bondemus is there in 11th. Chasing his teammate after the stops. Kaiser is 12th ahead of his teammate Ajax, but at the front of the field it is Gasman into the pits. The Ferrari crew ready with their tyres. The fuel has gone. In comes the Ferrari on lap number 17. New tyres go on his car as Lowy takes the lead once more in a Formula X race. Fantastic to see him at the front. I said before, throughout the season, he is one of those drivers now. We just expect to see him up there now. It's not a surprise. He's there once more, leading a race here in SNL. The Punisher in 2nd place. He'll be looking to become the new Aloy in the future seasons, where he makes that move, that shift to the front. Bunnies putting the pressure on, though, in the Mercedes, looking very racy indeed, trying to put the pressure on his fellow Canadian. He got ahead of Speckmere on the previous lap, and he's trying to get ahead of the other McLaren, the former teammates last season in McLaren. But the Punisher holding his own against his former teammate. They were champions together. Now they are rivals of different teams, fighting hard. The Punisher won't make it easy for his former teammate. Aloy then coming through the final corner at Panasonic and will come into the pits. 22 laps left of this race, so we're not quite halfway. Punisher holding off Bunnies. Bunnies, though, trying to make a move as they go into the pit lane side by side, and he's managed to do it. Wow! As they both try to get into the pits. Mama Sykes in the chat saying, "Hi Jam, late dins, go guys." Speckmere then into the lead of this race. So Speckmere leading for McLaren once more, but he's got Jam right behind him on the soft tyres. These are brand new softs as well. So Speckmere about 1.8 seconds. Oh wow, you can see those soft tyres completely giving up on Speckmere as he tries to go through the right-hander, struggles for the grip as Jam is behind him. Really struggling right now is the McLaren. He's keeping Jam behind though. Jam not catching up maybe as he expected. Speckmere holds the position, not making it easy. Former teammates at Benetton, these two. In fact, Jam stuck behind, trying to look, can't put his nose in there. That would lead to an accident surely. Jam currently being held up then by Speckmere. Some great defensive driving. Speckmere does not have to let Jam by at all. And the McLaren driver through the final corner as Jam tucks up. Speckmere on the overtake. In fact, Jam back into the slipstream once more. Quite sure what to do. The Williams driver as he then goes up the inside and gets the move done. Speckmere though has a little look, jinks to the right, makes Jam look in his mirrors as then they go. Lap number 19. Jam leading from Speckmere. Speckmere has not stopped, and he's on lap number 19. What a run on soft tyres for him. Ragimus also. I know he stopped earlier with that error with the pits, but he's in now. He's done 18 laps on those soft tyres. That is an impressive run. Those tyres looking very, very second hand though. Let's have a look at Speckmere's times. Yes, a 1:27.0 for him on the last lap. That shows the tyres are not happy as it stands. Jam did 25.9, whilst his rival 24.3 for Gazman. Again on medium tyres. Looking very strong once more. Medium tyres for Aloe. Bunnies is in 5th place. He's now pulled ahead of Matt Psycho. But that gap, it's only 2 points in terms of points. The difference between 5th and 6th. 16 points for 5th, 14 for 6th. Still, even if the race finished like this, Gazman would win the championship by 1 point. Gazman would win the championship by 1 point. Looking very good for the Ferrari driver here at Fuji. The team championship, though, looks like it's going to go to Renault. The team that had hard tyres for the first round. Both drivers, hards. Complete turn of fortune, though, from then on. Matt Psycho recruited into the team as well. 5th place in the championship currently for Aloe, and he's 4th on the road as it stands, but looks like 3rd could be a possibility this evening. But Bunnies has done a 22.9. Wow, what a lap from Bunnies. 22.9 from him. Absolutely flying in the Mercedes, now on the soft tyres. Pushing as hard as he can to catch up. He's going 4 tenths of a second quicker than anybody else as well. He's really attacking this lap. Definitely not holding back and keeping the tyres alive for the end of the stint. He knows he's got to attack. He knows he's got to push. He knows, basically, he has to win this race to win the championship. That's what it looks like as it stands, because Gazman, despite Jam being ahead, Gazman's pace, 24.2 for Jam and 24.5 for Gazman, medium tyres. They're meant to be, or they used to be in old money, a second a lap slower. They're possibly not that anymore. Aloe in 3rd place now, as Speckmere in the pits, finally. On lap number 20, did an amazing job with the fuel. So is he trying to do a one-stopper? He's on the softs, he's fully fueled up. It could be possible that Speckmere is trying the one-stop. Let's have a look compared to his teammate. His teammate definitely isn't doing the one-stop. So Punisher in 6th, Bondimus in 7th. And Speckmere, 20 laps. With a full tank, and he's filled up again. Will he manage to do a one-stop? Kaiser running wide out of the Coca-Cola curve and through 100R. Ajax in 10th, for Slenderfella in 11th. Rob on drums is there in 12th place in the Red Bull. Another competitive season once more. Ragimus and Yokas are having a great little fight between themselves, the Mercedes and the Ferrari driver. The Mercedes running a little bit wide to go on board with the Ferrari. Will he have a go into Dunlop? Into the chicane. Yokas might do. He might. It would be a brave move, but thinks better of it. So Yokas in 14th. Pulshark then in 15th in his Red Bull. He will be back for GTE though, he prefers those types of cars. Here is Jam in the 24s, the 23s that we saw earlier in the race seem to have abandoned him. He was quicker than Gazman last time out round the circuit though. Gazman sliding that Ferrari into Dunlop once more. But Aloe He has got the pressure of the man that is fastest on the circuit at this time, a 22.9 to follow his 22.8 on the previous lap. Bunny's really pushing, and Aloe feeling the pressure in the Renault. Through the penultimate corner they go. Aloe will defend the inside line into Panasonic, but you can go wide as Bunny's is. Cut up the inside and get the slipstream, but you can see Aloe is on the overtake. Bunny's is not though, and he's getting the benefit of Aloe's slipstream and overtake. Will he make a move into turn number 1? Bunny's up the inside of the Renault, brakes late, gets it turned, makes it pass, but can Aloe get past once more? They're side by side going into Coca-Cola, and Aloe manages to get back ahead, but Bunny's has the line and takes it from the Renault. Fantastic driving between these two. Aloe really trying hard. Will he have a go downhill into turn number 6? Not quite for Aloe. Bunny's now on the podium. Pushing hard. 4 points is the gap. Sorry, not 4 points anymore. 7 points is the gap between him and Matt Psycho. 8 points, in fact, with the fastest lap. That would be a tie between them in the championship. But it would still be Gasman that takes it. Just as it stands, it would be a point for Gasman, I think. 25 points, 21, 4 points difference. The gap between them, well, no. Oh, would it? As it stands, I think it would be a 3-way tie for the championship. And on countback, Matt Psycho would win it due to 2 wins. Wow. You can't get much tighter than that here at SNL. So 3 drivers in line for this championship. Unfortunately, Ajax not having the type of race that he would have wanted here. It is harder for him, soft, medium and hards for him this race. He'll be looking though for his final sectors to be quicker. As you can see in the background, Slenderfella and Rob on drums. Slenderfella into the pits though for his stop. So in comes the Lotus. Yokas in 13th. Regimus down now into 14th after his stop. With Pool Shark in 15th place. Not having the most fun here at Fuji. Jam leading the race though, still. A 1:24.3 for him on the last lap, and 1:24.4 for Gasman. EV tyres looking so good here. 23.6 for Bunnies. Really pushing his Mercedes. Trying to catch the drivers ahead. The gap about 8 seconds between him and Gasman. And the gap between Jam and Gasman about 7 seconds. So Jam pulling out a little bit of a gap. 24.9 now on the last lap. Gasman 24.3 on the previous lap. Thank you everyone that's watching us live. Like, share, subscribe. This is the final race of the Sunday Night League Formula X season number 8. And we have a 3-way battle for the championship. Matt Psycho now would win the title. As it stands, he would have 18 points. Bunnies would close the gap by 3. And Gasman would close the gap by 7. So that would give Matt Psycho the championship if it finished like this. But it is getting dark here at Fuji. You can see a bit of haze now. We can't see Mount Fuji in the background. So is it beginning to rain possibly? 34.6 for Lowy on the last lap. He's made a mistake. Judging by that, did he do a pit stop? It's not showing a pit stop. So there's a slow moving Lotus as Bunnies goes to cross the line once more. He's still in the 23s, a 23.4 for him. Gasman a 24.3 in the Ferrari. And a Now 24.8 for Jam, who's now got a car in front. He's got Ragemus. So he overtakes him in the 100R. Go on board with the Williams driver. You can see it looking a little bit sketchy in terms of the weather. The Punisher is there in 6th, and it is getting hazier. Speckmere in 7th on his one-stop strategy. Definitely looks like the one-stop is on for him. Ajax, quarter of a tank left. Bondemus in the pits once more. Kaiser is in 2. Yokas has no tyres left again. The end of his stint is coming in now, in fact. So he is in the pits. Jam coming down. Will he pit at the end of this lap? Yes, he does. But look at the haze. It definitely doesn't look 100% dry right now. There is rain in the air. We're on board with Gasman as he approaches Ragemus, who goes on the inside, backs out of it. Nicely done by the Mercedes driver. He's got his his Mercedes teammate coming behind. Jam is in the pits. Matt Psycho goes into 3rd now. So the top 3 in the championship are in the top 3 in this race. Now, if it finished like this, Matt Psycho's champion. 9 points the difference between him and Gasman. And the gap is 10 points. So Matt Psycho would win. As Matt Psycho overtakes Gasman's teammate. Aloe there in 4th place, backing his teammate up very well. Jam out of the pits. He's on the soft tyres once more. Currently in 5th place. Is that a bit of rain? I can see. It's hard to tell. It really is hazy though. Wouldn't be surprised if it did have a downpour. We've not had a proper downpour for all season in Formula X. Has had rain as an option throughout the season. Jam on his out lap. Pushing. Aloe is there. Matt Psycho, will he be coming in this lap? Not yet, it doesn't look like. No. So Bunny's 23.8 for him on the last lap, and 24.5 for Gasman. So Gasman, half his overtake still left. So the Scot leads for Ferrari in Japan once more. We saw this last season at Suzuka. Conditions and the circumstances, though, are very different to that race. He was going for his first win at Suzuka. This would be only his 2nd win in Formula X and in SNL, but if he wins, he has a very good chance of winning this title. Maybe it was the Miami blue that has given him luck. It's a Scottish driver, proud on there. Mama Sykes in the chat though. She's saying foot down Matthew. This we know is the equivalent to hammer time here at SNL. On board with Matthew, full Sunday night name for him in the Renault. You see a car moving slowly offline. Is that? No. Bunny's coming into the pits. It's Ragemus and Poolshark having a bit of a fight between them. I did see the Mercedes in 4th. It was Bunny's, but Bunny's is in the pits. Matt Psycho then coming in as well. Bunny's in for his final stop. So he will do 10 more laps on those tyres. Soft tyres left. Jam going by. As it looks so sketchy in terms of the weather. Are these drivers coming in right now? They have to come in. They're running out of fuel. Apart from Gasman. Imagine if it rains and Gasman just has to stop once. He would have a huge lead over everyone. He's got a quarter of a tank of fuel left. He's not stopping anytime soon. Lowy will be stopping this lap though. As we see him go into Dunlop. We see, oh, Jam running wide. Jam on the grass. Oh, and nearly losing it too. Oh, that Williams not having the best of times. Colder conditions possibly. And all of a sudden Bunnies can see the car ahead of him. Struggling, having some problems. The Punisher. He's nowhere near his stop either, so he'll be going quite long. Matt Psycho has done his stop now. He's on fresh medium tyres. He's going to the end of the race. He's got Speckmere behind him. Speckmere on those softs. He is trying something. No, is he coming to the pits? He is. Speckmere's coming in. So a Lowy in the pits. Soft tyres for him. Or is it another set of mediums? Speckmere will come into the pits too. Matt Psycho is there in 5th place. Let's have a look between Jam and Bunnies. They are 2nd and 3rd on the road. Jam trying to get the car to stop for him. Bunnies looks up. Oh my word, Speckmere has gone out on inters. You can see the grooves on the tyres. Speckmere is going for it. He senses that there is a little bit of rain in the air. Is there something coming off the tyres? I don't think there is. Well, he's anticipating rain. Oh, and Bunny's gone ahead of Jam. Bunnies has gone ahead of Jam. What happened there? Jam's gone off. There we go then. Into Dunlop. Jam trying to get it stopped. Hits the back of Ragemus, then goes onto the grass, and the Canadian Bunnies gets up into 2nd place. Well, now comes the chase. There looks to be some sort of precipitation in the air. I think it's just mist. There's nothing on the circuit, but it does look very, very weird on the onboards at points. Then Bunnies, he is going to try and push for this now. He has to win the race to win the championship. That's what the challenge is now. Gasman, though, he's got 1 stop left. The gap is about 29 seconds between him and Bunnies. He will not have to stop for long either, Gasman. We've got 9 laps left. This is the championship. Gasman, Bunnies, and Matt Psycho. Matt Psycho in 4th place. He's got to do something. Where has Speckmere gone? Speckmere is still on those inters. He's trying to make them work, but I think he's just going to fall down. He's on the wrong tyre. Yes, he is. He just can't keep with the other drivers. Ajax is just pulling away from him now. 23.3 for Ajax. It's definitely not wet now. So Speckmere, he's gambled. He's gone for the inters. He went for the early call. He felt he didn't have anything to lose as well. He was going for a 1-stopper, a risky 1-stopper. And he is now paying a price for a risk. But that's what Gasman did last time out in Spa. He went for it, trying to win on those very warm softs. The Punisher coming into the pits now. So he's in 5th place. Gasman leading the field, the red light flashing to indicate the fuel is nearly over. There is the Punisher in the pits. The sun is shining here. Rob on drums is also pitting. What does Gasman do, the Ferrari driver? Coming round the Panasonic curve, nearly loses it on the exit. Does he come into the pits? Yes, he does. So the gap between him and Bunnies can say about 29 seconds as he comes in now for his final stop. The leader of the race, the leader of the championship as it stands in the race. Bunnies though, pushing hard. Jam in third. That Psycho is about 8 seconds away from Jam. There is the Scot in the pits. The Ferrari crew doing their best not to do a Ferrari pit stop. They've done it nicely. 50% of his fuel tank is full. A new set of softs as well. Gasman is going to be rapidly quick as we see Bunnies. The gap between them, it must be about a second, less than that possibly. But Gasman is leading the race after his pit stop. Bunnies though is flying. We saw purple lap time sector being shown here. So it is Ferrari versus Mercedes for the win and for the championship. Bunnies though has barely got any overtake left. He's got just a little bit, whilst Gasman's got half his overtake. What a move from Gasman for the overtake, but Bunny's really pushing as hard as he can. The gap between him and Jam is about 4 seconds now. Or 6. Thank you everyone that's watching. This is an incredibly tense battle for the championship and for the lead of the race. They both know exactly what they need to do though. Gasman leading against Bunnies. Bunnies the defending champion. He's won it 2 seasons in a row. Season 6 and Season 7. Trying to get 3 in a row, which has never been done. 2 championships has never been done in Formula X. He's the first double champion in Formula X. Jam in 3rd place. Comfortable gap between him and Matt Psycho. You can see the Renault behind, but it's not as comfortable at the front of this field. Let's have a look. Where is Speckmere? He's still in 9th and he's still on those inters. I don't think he's going to reign, Speckmere. He's doing 29s and 31s, so he's definitely losing time. 26.5 for Bondamus on his previous lap, so he's pulling away, and 26.2 as well for Ajax, so they're definitely pulling away. The Punisher in 6th place, looking for a good result here. One of his best possibly in Formula X. Aloy in 5th. Matt Psycho is in 4th. Those medium tyres working quite nicely now. 24.4 for him on the previous lap. 24.3 for Jam on those softs. It is Bunnies trying to catch up. A 23.5. What does Gasman do in response? You can see all of a sudden a quarter of that overtake has been used by Gasman. He is pushing hard, trying to make sure with 5 laps to go. He's just set the fastest lap of the race at 22.7, a 23.8 from Bunnies. Is that what this race will come down to? Bunnies trying to put the pressure on Gasman, and Gasman saying no. I'm not even contemplating pressure. Through the Coca-Cola curve. Flat as anything for both of these drivers. Pushing as hard as they can. 24.1 for Jam. 24.6 for Matt Psycho. Using that Renault with all the skill. Season 3 champion. Aloy there in 5th place, backing his teammate up. This looks very strong for Renault in terms of the team championship. The Punisher. He's got Ajax just behind him, 24.1, 24.2, setting similar lap times. Tyres maybe not in a similar condition. Punisher has newer tyres compared to his fellow Canadian. Different lines though. Down to turn 6. A bit of a fight there for Ajax. Go back to the front of the field though. Gasman leads. The gap though, oh, it's about a second and a half. 23.5, 23.6. It is stabilising. The gap, 4 laps to go, including the one that they are on. This is the fight for the championship then. It's between Gasman and Bunnies. Matt Psycho has 18 points as it stands. Bunnies has 25. And Gasman has 31. So Gasman in the pound seat right now. He just has to bring it home in the lead. That's all he has to do. He just has to win. As a yellow flag happens ahead of him. That is not what you want to see whilst leading a race. Her driver's ahead. It's Speckmere. On those intermediates, just running wide now. He's still going. It's a brave decision. Is he going to go to the pits now? He's admitted defeat. Yes, he is. He's admitted defeat. It's not going to rain. In he comes. The experiment on the Inters has failed. Slender Fella then in 11th place. Shows you the competitive order though in SNL. Slender Fella finished at 3rd at Spa. He's down in 11th here. He overtook Gasman on the final laps to take that position on the podium. Gasman now coming to lap him a week later. Although Slender Fella's tyres going into this race were not the best. Medium hard. So really not a happy chappy. Gap 2 seconds. Gasman pulling it out a little bit. 23.3. 23.9. Jam at 23.7. Matt Psycho 28.9. Aloe 24.9. And the Punisher 24.0. 24.2. And 25.7 for Bondamus. 24.2 for Rob on drums. And 26.3. 24.8. Yokas and Speckmere having a great fight. Speckmere trying round the outside. Nothing doing right now, but he's on the hards. They're fresh. Can he get the move done on Yokas? It looks like it will be done. Going down into turn 1. There we go. Brilliant from these two, fighting side by side for 12th place. Speckmere though, just getting ahead. Fantastic from them. As Gasman, 23.4, 24.0. Gasman, it looks like, has broken Bunnies. He's got 1.5 laps left in this Ferrari. Can he do the impossible? Can he bring the title home for the Scuderia? They have never won a championship in Formula X. They won the Teams Championship in season number 4, but they have not won the Drivers' Championship. And of all the drivers to bring home the title, Gasman onto the final lap, leading the race. Mama Sykes in the chat saying great racing. It has been great racing, and right now Gasman leading. He's ahead of Bunnies. The gap between them now about 4 seconds. Jam about 6 seconds behind in his Williams. That Psycho about 12 seconds behind Matt Jam. And Aloe just lapping Yokas. The Punisher is in 6th. He's going to hold on, is he? It would seem so, but Gasman coming down towards Dunlop for the final time. The hardest corners on the circuit. Do not loop it, is what he's thinking. Let's go on board with the Ferrari driver through the final corners of this race. It has been a phenomenal performance from the Ferrari driver here at Fuji. It must be racing in Japan. He won at Suzuka last season. Mika Hakkinen said, it's just one victory. Gasman probably was thinking the same. But at the end of season number 8, the Scuderia win once more, and with it the title goes to Gasman. Fantastic race from the Scotsman. Second place goes to Bunnies. In third place goes Jam in the Williams, first podium of the season. Matt Psycho will finish in fourth, an impressive result given his tyres for the final race. He finishes fourth place. Aloe will back his teammate up in fifth to take the team championship for Renault. Sixth place is going to be the Punisher. So the Punisher crossing the line. His best result in Formula X. Fantastic for the Canadian. I'll be happy with that. Ajax comes seventh. Bondemus coming down the home straight now for 8th place in his Lotus after his debut season. Great racing from him all season long. Rob on drums is going to finish in 9th. Kaiser's quite a little bit away, so Slenderfellow 11th, 12th was Beckmere, 13th was Yokas, 14th was Poolshark, and 15th was Rob on drums. And here comes Kaiser coming to cross the line in the Tyrrell. He finishes in 10th place. Fantastic result for him. So let's have a look at the final race standings. And in first place was Gasman in the Ferrari. A fantastic victory for him. In second place was Bunnies in the Mercedes. Put the pressure on. He'll be wooing that mistake with the tyres at the start of the race. Jam in third place in the Williams. Fourth place is Matt Psycho. Did everything he could despite the tyre disadvantage. Aloe in fifth place in his Renault, making sure that Renault brought home the title in the team's championship. The Punisher in sixth place for him. Fantastic result for the Punisher in the McLaren. Ajax in 7th for Tyrrell. 8th is Bondemus Prime in the Team Lotus. 9th is Rob on drums in the Red Bull. 10th was Kaiser Grimm in the Tyrrell. 11th was Slenderfella in his Lotus. 12th was Speckmere in his McLaren. He went for the Inters. I wonder if his one stop would have worked. That would have been very interesting. 13th place was Yokas. 14th place was Poolshark. And 15th was Ragemus Prime. So, the championship standings. Our season number 8 champion is Gasman. With that victory, he gets 122 points. And there are no stewards' inquiries with regards to that. Mama Sykes in the chat saying, enjoy SNL. Great racing, guys. Well done. And thank you, Jam. Thank you, Mama Sykes. So Gasman, first place, the champion of season number 8. He has said his intention is to bring that number 1 to season number 9 for Ferrari. Wow. Scott has done it. In second place, Matt Psycho with 119 points. Just 3 points between him and Gasman in the end. And in third place was Bunnies on 118 points. 4 points between the top 4. Incredibly tight championship decider between the top 3, 4 points between the top 3. Incredible racing from all of them. In terms of the team championship, it is Renault that win the title with 202. In second is Mercedes with 179. And in third place, thanks to his victory this evening, Ferrari, 135 points for them. Fantastic for everyone. Thank you everyone that's taken part this season. Thank you to Bunnies for doing the commentary as well. Thank you for watching. But really, it is this man's championship. Gasman is the champion of Formula X and of season number 8. Congratulations to him. Congratulations to everyone that's taken part this season. Thank you for watching. Until September, where we come back for GTE. Enjoy the summer. Enjoy the hot weather. Stay safe. Watch the rest of SNL here on the YouTube channel. Like, share, subscribe. Tell everybody about it. Put it on Facebook. Put it on Twitter. Put it on Twitch. I don't know. I don't know how these things work. Anyway, enjoy. Gasman, enjoy the champagne. Good night.